We all know dealerships are the worst part about legacy auto. If you don't agree with me, well, you've been hiding under a rock. Check out some of my videos talking about some of the horrendous experiences people have had with dealerships recently, over the last few months, especially with these insane markups that legacy auto are putting on their cars and just saying, suck it up. Too bad. It's ridiculous. Well, now Ford and General Motors are trying to actually do something about this very serious problem. Both of them are threatening legal action on dealers who continue to operate using deceitful and dishonest tactics. And this, my friends, is good news. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you here from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome to all your new subscribers. Great to have you here on the channel. Welcome back to everyone else. Great to have you here as well. Now, why am I smiling? Because General Motors, their dealerships, well, some of them really suck. And while I made an interesting video about the fact that GM are actually trying to cull a lot of their dealers right now, one of the reasons being that a lot of their dealers don't want to sell electric vehicles. That is a fact. I'll put a link in the description below to the video that I made about that. In fact, a huge number of dealers have actually been culled over the past 12 months. You should check out those numbers. It's something that no one's really talking about, which surprises me. Now, Ford recently came out and told one of its potential customers, and a Ford executive said to a customer who complained about Ford adding a significant markup on the MSRP of an electric car. They said, don't worry, it's easy, just go buy a Tesla. Now, this obviously was reported on by a lot of the media, at least media such as me, little YouTubers, and it didn't turn out too well for Ford. Now, after that, not too long ago, Ford said they're considering legal action on some of their dealers who are conducting deceptive practices. And I made a video about some of the very deceptive practices that they are using in order to try and con people by actually selling them cars, agreeing to a certain price, then calling them back a week later and telling them that that's not the price, they need to pay more money, even though they've already signed a contract. This is the kind of crazy stuff they're doing. I'll put a link in the description below to that video. You should check that one out. Well, now General Motors is looking to nip any dealership issues in the bud, say the electric, before its influx of electric cars hit the market. Now, in a recent letter to its dealerships, GM has warned against markups above MSRPs and reservation amounts, threatening to redirect vehicles away from offenders. Now, General Motors is an American automaker, is aiming to further its electrification transition in 2023. I mean, well, depending on how you look at it, they didn't make a lot of electric cars in 2021, did they? I mean, I made a funny video about Elon Musk's response to General Motors' sales of the EVs in the United States in the fourth quarter of 2021. Over that 3-month period, October, November, and December, GM sold 26 electric cars, period, across the entire country of the United States. But interestingly enough, they actually sold a lot of EVs. They just weren't in America. I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made talking about where they actually sold those EVs. Now, after a tough end to 2021, and the fact that, well, their electric car factory in the US right now is shut down, still, it's been shut down since August. Now, we think it might reopen in February or March. Fingers crossed it opens soon. Obviously, those employees have been doing nothing for the last, 6 months. Getting paid 75 to 80% though of their normal wage, so that's not too bad. But honestly, I mean, that's not been a good story for 2021. For General Motors, it hasn't. That's just the truth. I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about GM's vehicles just spontaneously self-combusting in front of dealerships. I mean, it's the year to forget for General Motors and their battery disaster. But apparently now they want to live up to their all-in by 2035 electric car promise. And to be honest, I have to say, the fact that they're making these comments, it's a good thing. Mary Barra has said some insane things over the last 6 months, but let's just ignore that. Let's focus on the good. The good is they are saying they're all in on electric cars for 2035, which I think is too late. But anyway, still good. Because if you compare those comments to the comments from Carlos Tavares, who is the CEO of Stellantis, he's saying, I don't know if we can even do electric cars. I mean, they're just too expensive. That guy is a lunatic. I mean, he's mental. I'll put a link in the description below to that video as well. But anyway, GM saying some good things and at least making an effort. Now, GM is going to be busy over the next few years. It has promised to deliver 30 electrified vehicles by 2025. Now, that's not vehicles in total. That's actually models. 30 different electric models within the next 3 years. I mean, I think that's an outrageously stupid idea, but hey, bring on the EVs. If there's more EVs, that's fantastic news. Now, why do I say stupid? Because I just don't see why you need 30 different models, 30 different production lines. Imagine the complexity from that many models, that many parts, that many different, 10 models would be good. 10 sounds like quite a lot to me. I mean, if you're Tesla and you said we're going to have 10 models within 3 years, everyone would go, wow, that's a lot. But GM, no, they want 30. Now, the Cadillac Lyriq has entered pre-production. Well, actually, it's currently being made in China, though, not in the US. It's being in pre-production in the US. They'll begin deliveries in a few months. And I've got to say, the Cadillac Lyriq looks pretty cool. It's an impressive looking EV. It'll be joined by the GMC Hummer EV, which should arrive this fall to the tune of a 100,000, about 120,000 for the Edition 1, which they, by the way, they've sold one of. Kind of ironic, isn't it? Edition 1. Anyway, now, recently there's been a lot of unfolding for GM in terms of its EVs. So here's what's going on with them. GM is investing $150 million to produce electric motor components in New York. Good news. Manufacturing in the US, more jobs. GM has scored a tax break of $1.3 billion for its factory to build EVs in Orion. It already has a factory there, but to continue to transition that factory to electric vehicles, they're getting a pretty big tax break. It's massive, $1.3 billion. Now, GM is also constructing a North American materials processing factory for Ultium EV batteries. And they revealed their very impressive Chevy Silverado EV, which has a 400-mile range. The Multiflex Midgate, which is awesome. One of my favorite things in any car, period. I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about that car, and you can check out the Multiflex Midgate. It's awesome. Now, in addition, they unveiled the Equinox electric vehicle, which they're saying will cost only $30,000. Now, if that's true, well, I'll eat my sock. No, I'm serious. I hope it's true. I really do. And GM has announced that GMC Sierra Denali pickup truck will be released soon. So now what needs to happen for GM to have a great year? Well, they need their dealerships to come to the party and to stop being dicks. That's what they need to happen. So what have they done? Well, they've threatened legal action against dealership markups and the use of brokers. Now, the Silverado Evolution Forum has an administrator who posted a letter that was emailed to dealerships by GM North American President Steve Carlisle, warning against additional dealer markups to customers. Now, personally, I don't think GM cares if you're marking the car up by a couple of grand. It's the cases where there's markups of 5, 10, 15, 20,000 US dollars. And that's what GM wants to stop. Now, Carlisle says that the demand surrounding many of GM's EVs mentioned above, and also talks about limited inventory supply due to the global semiconductor shortage. The GM president first spoke to the markups being added by some dealerships, saying, unfortunately, it has come to our attention that in connection with some of these announcements and launches, a small number of dealers have engaged in practices that do not support a positive sales experience for our customers. Now, I'm just going to interject here. I don't think it's a small number. I think it's more than a small number. This puts our collective interests at risk and generates negative press that reflect poorly on General Motors brands and your dealerships. Specifically, it has come to our attention that some dealerships have attempted to demand money above and beyond the reservation amounts set in GM's program rules, and or have requested customers to pay sums far in excess of MSRP in order to purchase or lease a vehicle. Now, clearly you can hear the words here. They're not saying we've heard dealerships request customers to pay sums a little bit more than MSRP. They say far in excess of MSRP. Carlisle then reminds its dealerships that they ethically are lawfully obligated to sell GM products. This is followed by calling out some dealerships using brokers who are promoting new GM vehicle allocation, which is a breach of contract between General Motors and its dealership. While GM recognizes that this is a small group of perpetrators so far, I don't think it is, but anyway, it looks to squash the issue before it truly becomes a big one, threatening to reallocate dealership vehicles and pursue other recourse prescribed by the dealer sales and service agreement. Now, like I said, Ford has done the same thing. In fact, Ford has threatened legal action against some of its dealers if they continue to operate deceptively across in a manner of different ways, not just in terms of increasing their MSRP, but they're doing other underhanded, dirty stuff as well. Now, I've got to say, good move from General Motors. I've been almost begging them to do this. I honestly, genuinely want General Motors to succeed. We need to keep jobs in America for manufacturing stability, for general well-being of the American economy, of the global car economy. We can't have it all go to one country. That's bad. That's monopoly. That's absolutely not what we want. So yes, absolutely. If you're wanting GM to fail, then I think that's just stupid, because ultimately GM succeeding is better for everyone. So this is a good move from GM. I applaud it. GM, well done. Good job, guys. Now, keep it up. Keep up the good work. Make sure you follow through on this. Don't just talk about it. Do it. That's what we need to see happen here. We need to see you actually charge some of these General Motors dealerships, or tell us who they are and actually make an example of them. That's the next step. Now, let me know in the comment section below if you agree with what I'm saying here. Am I saying the right thing, the wrong thing? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Will you consider buying a General Motors EV? Now, personally, I've got to say, if the Silverado comes out with the specs they say it has, for the price they're saying, I reckon there's going to be millions of people wanting one. But that's just me. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.